What up, YouTube? Shout out to the Mackies and Maniacs. Welcome to another episode. KM True Stories. Welcome to another episode. KM Videos. True
That was it. I never stopped banging. I started banging hard, then I got so hard till it was a shame.
Welcome to another episode of KM Videos True Stories. In recent years, there have been a lot of interviews about gentrification, articles written, YouTube shorts, Instagram shorts, and stuff like that. A lot of people are zooming in on that Hyde Park, Crenshaw community, View Park, Windsor Hills community, which is historically known as an affluent black area. Parts of it, right? High crime at times, but nevertheless, nice, expensive homes over there. And as a lot of haters would like to say, green grass. And so the question has been posed to me many times, probably more than I would like people to ask me. Do I regret selling the house that I grew up in, brag about, have so many memories of, 5506 Eileen Avenue, directly across the street from 54th Street Elementary School? And my answer is no. Do I miss it? Yes. Do I regret selling it? No. And let me tell you why. That house now is worth $1.1 million. That's great. We sold it like $585,000. A guy turned around that bought it, fixed it up, sold the house in less than a year, and he made a $200,000 profit. So yeah, that sounds good, like nigga Mac, you left $200,000 on the table. If you kept it, you could have doubled the money. Simple math. That sounds right, and that's true. Here's the deal though. Like when you ask somebody else that same question, it may have different sentimental value. It may have a different financial value or what have you. But when you're asking me, you got to remember this is Kev Mac. Nigga, we caught too many cases in that house. People been shot in that house. Been a lot of fights in that house. House been raided many a times. Caught a 3-strike case in that house. The violence, the friends that come over, that gangbang or hustle, none of that shit was ever gonna change. Like, nigga, this is a house that people came to since they were kids. Some guys came over this house since kindergarten. Some others later on in elementary, junior high school, after high school. There's a lot of hustlers that came through. There's a lot of killers that came through. A lot of gambling went on there. A lot of illegal activity went on there. Girls coming by, busting out my window. Dudes coming by trying to steal our cars or steal parts off of our cars. Dude, the type of lifestyle that I was living was very dangerous and unhealthy. And it was only a matter of time before I was going to go back to jail. Now, as far as the finances go on the house and the condition of the house, which plays a major role in my decision, my sister had unknowingly taken money out the house after my mom died. When I caught the 3-strike case, we took an additional $50,000 out the house to pay for my defense. We were sinking in debt. We owed about $185,000 on the house. Where am I going to get some money to pay this mortgage if something happens to my sister? Because she was very sickly and she was unstable. Where am I going to get the money from? A regular job is not going to pay that refinance. It's just not going to do that. I'm going to probably mess around and catch a case selling drugs or doing a robbery or burglary. the house would hold no value for me at that point. My life, I may see the streets again, but I would probably face a life sentence like a lot of people, like a lot of my homeboys. And I'm glad they home now. And I would probably be coming home around now too. Or in a few more years, had I caught another case. But this house was in terrible condition. When we were moving, this is before I even knew what was going on with the house, we got an appraisal. And the appraisal should have been about $850,000 at the time. We should have been able to get $850,000 for that house. But the house was so poor, it was appraised at around $600,000. We sold to the first bidder, which was under $600,000. So, you know, he underbid what we could have got for the house. But we were all cool with just getting rid of the house, not risking nobody else wanting the house. I didn't have no money to fix up the house. We couldn't refinance the house a third time. I couldn't even borrow no money from no homie, so I wouldn't ask no homie to loan me no money to fix up the house, you know what I'm saying? Niggas was more worried about my gambling habit or more happy to see my demise than to help a brother out. That's the facts and the truth. Yeah, I got some good homies that I never asked, but I also got some other homies that I asked that I knew had money and wouldn't help me out. You can take that to the bank. And so when we're cleaning out the house, we find there's a hole in the roof that water from the rain to drip down into my mother's closet where she had wooden floor, nice wooden floor, regular walls in the closet. But there was a hole in the roof. There was a hole in the ground in her closet. There was mildew. Our heaters didn't work in the house. We had the original floor heaters. They didn't work in the house. We had some other wall heaters. They no longer worked in the house. Where we grew up calling it the back porch, but others would call it the laundry room. We had a laundry room on the southeast part of the house where we had a washer, dryer. You had the water heater. You had cabinets where we hid things. You had a what do you call that upstairs? An attic. And so this was a cool room for us, you know what I'm saying? You put your clothes back there, you hide shit back there, you know, illegal shit, money, whatever. Well, up under that washing machine, up under the washing machine, nigga, it was all a straight hole to under the house. So rats, possums, raccoons, burglars, anybody could have came from up under the house and came right into the house. You would have just have to push the dryer up a little bit or find a spot where you could get between the dryer and the house and come on in. So that wasn't cool. Then the shower in our bathroom. Now we had leaky faucets and shit. I had homies come do plumbing. I had smokers come through do plumbing. Saved us a few dollars. But in our shower, we had the shower used to drip hot water, and we couldn't stop the dripping from the hot water. And it would drip down onto the bottom of the shower and eat up the shower and cause mold. So we had mold in the shower, so you didn't want to shower without no shower shoes, nigga. You might get gangrene or something in your feet. But moving forward, when we're cleaning up and this guy comes to see, you know, about fixing up the house, he checks the shower, he steps a foot in the shower, the whole shower collapsed. You see all up under the house, you see the 2x4s, the whole marble tile in the shower collapsed. Straight up under the house again. I could have been in that shower. My sister could have been in that shower and fell and been messed up. On top of all of this, the part that I probably should have mentioned first was the fact that growing up as kids, I can remember, I think my brother and sister there may have been out the house, but I can remember we had a tent on the house a couple times. You know what that means? We were spraying for termites. That house had a termite problem back in the 70s. So the structure up under the house had wood, had 2x4s that had been eaten up. They weren't very strong. The earthquakes helped to shift the foundation. The foundation on that house was not strong. So unless I had the money and the means to fix that house, to pour a lot of money into that house, it was just a disaster waiting to happen. On top of all of these things that I mentioned, next door, my new neighbor next door, his friends was police. His friends worked for LAPD and high up in the LAPD. 2 doors down, a woman worked for the feds. She had some type of federal job where they would investigate, they would call and ask neighbors about, you know, that family and what's going on in that block. You had neighborhood watch having meetings about Mr. Kev Mac. You had the Brumley family, you had the Paul family, you had others across the street from the Pauls that would tell me about these meetings, and they are on my bumper. Bro, believe me when I tell you, I do not regret selling the house on I Lane. There was no good ending there. And quite frankly, just to keep it a buck, homies used to come through, and I didn't want the homies to come through. Like, I couldn't have a broad over there without the homies coming over, interrupting, or wanting to see her. Homies would come by and want to leave a gun there. Homies would run from the police. Several times, homies ran from the police and come to my spot. It was a disaster waiting to happen, man. So, nah, I'm good. I can remember homies mad at other homies. And whatever's going to go down is going to go down at my house. I'm going to be the one called to answer to that if they find, you know, it go down at their house. You know what I'm trying to say, right? So, nah. About the only thing I would have liked about being in that house is when my brother came home from prison, he could have had a place to stay. Probably could have bumped me a Mexican or a white neighbor or an Asian neighbor, who knows, with some paper, because they moving in and they coming in with paper. The sentimental value of this home was huge. It grows large because it's really the only home I ever knew. I did everything here, man. We played electric football, the taiko tracks, the train tracks, the big wheels, the swing tricycles to the swing bikes. You know, I can remember growing up with my sisters in the house, my brothers in the house, my father in the house, just walking across the street to go to school, my friends coming over and spending the night, my mother friends coming over, and I'm just listening to them kicking game. You know, I learned so much in this house. I became a man in this house. I done had plenty of females in this house. I done made a lot of money in this house. All that was great. But the flip side is, I done caught cases in this house. I done been arrested in this house. We talking about LAPD, LA Sheriff. We talking about the FBI, the ATF, Santa Monica Police Department, Culver City Police Department. The sheriff knew who he was. They had us on watch. I'm catching even the smallest of cases. I'm talking about suspended licenses, tickets for parking next door in front of a fire hydrant, tickets for double parking in front of my own house, tickets because the back of my car is sitting on the sidewalk, like petty tickets because we were targeted. My sister actually fought that in court. She went to court and told them that we were being targeted. Of course, she lost because we are in the wrong. You're not supposed to be on the sidewalk. You're not supposed to double park or park by a fire hydrant. But the fact was, other people picking up their kids to double park, that parked by the fire hydrant, or even parked in my driveway on the sidewalk would not get tickets. So it's clear and plain as day as we were being targeted. That may have not been the best place to live if you could not pay off that house or flip it. I could remember getting dressed to go play baseball. I could remember my brother getting dressed to go play football at Baldwin. I played at Jackie Robinson Rancho Park. I played at Summit Field. You know, I can remember we used to, from that house, we get our swimming trunks on. We go swimming at Dorsey or Van Ness Park. Yeah, so definitely a great place to remember growing up in the 70s and even the 80s. We had pigeon cages there. We stole cars and stripped cars in the backyard. We had clubhouses. We had a tree house next door. We had plenty of dogs, German Shepherds, Pit Bulls, Chows, sheepdogs, so on and so forth. So it was a great place for me growing up through the 70s and 80s. You know, I can't lie about that. But hey, I'm out of here, y'all. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We tell all sorts of stories here. Don't be afraid to leave a comment, y'all. I'm out of here. Salute.